All right, so what I need you to do is I need you to get your whiteboard, I need you to get your eraser, and I need you to get a whiteboard marker. And you are going to follow along with me while we do this lesson. So now that you should have your whiteboard marker, and your whiteboard eraser, I need you to draw 2 circles just like this. Try your best to make them the same exact size. Draw 2 circles right next to each other. Now, we are going to make this circle into sixths. So you're following along with me and you're dividing your circle into 6 parts. And then we are going to make this circle into fourths. Like this. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you, on this circle, we are going to show 3/6. So how can we do that? What would we do? You would shade, I'm going to use a different color to shade. You would shade 1 of your 6, 2 of your 6, 3 of your 6. And then we would write 3/6. Now what I want you to do is I want you to shade 2/4. So how would you shade that? You would shade 1/4, 2/4. So you would shade 2 pieces to make 2/4. So this is 2/4. Now I want to know which one of these fractions is bigger. Is 3/6 bigger than 2/4, or is 3/6 smaller than 2/4? How would you write that? Well, they're the same because half of my circle is shaded on this one and half of my circle is shaded on this one. So 3/6 is the same as 1/2, and 2/4 is the same as 1/2. So these fractions are equal. So 3/6 and 2/4 are the same as 1/2. And these are the same fraction. The same amount is shaded. Now what I want you to do is I want you to erase your board. And then I want you to draw 2 rectangles. Actually, hold on. We're going to draw the rectangles like this. You're going to draw them right on top of each other, and they're going to be the same exact size. And what we're going to do is I want to divide this rectangle into 8 pieces. So we're going to divide it just like this. And then this rectangle, we're going to divide it into 8 pieces also. All right, and then what I want you to do is on your first rectangle, I want you to shade 7/8. So how would you shade 7/8? You would shade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of your 8 pieces. And for this one, I want you to shade 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5/8. Now, which one is bigger? 7/8, because more of your eighths is shaded, right? So you would say 7/8 is greater than 5/8. Good job. All right, so now what I want you to do is I want you to write on your whiteboard 1/2 and 6/12. Which one is greater? Now what I noticed is on a lot of our assignments, some of us went ahead and we circled 6/12. But I want to know why you circled 6/12. So what I want you to do when you have a problem like this, I need you to use your fraction pieces or use your pictures to show me why is 6/12 greater than 1/2. So one thing that we could do is we could use a circle, we could draw a circle for 1/2. And I want you to do this with me, so you need to be following along with me. And we can draw a circle for 6/12. We can divide this circle into halves, and we can divide this circle into 12ths. So how we do that is we're going to divide it into thirds. We're going to divide our thirds in half. Then we're going to divide our sixths in half. And we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12 parts. And then what I want you to do is I want you to shade 1/2 and then 6/12. So we're going to shade 6 of our 12. 6. Well, I still really don't know. If I'm using my pictures, it's still kind of hard to tell because if I have 1/2 and 6/12, it kind of maybe looks like half, but I'm not really sure. So the good thing about this is that I can use my fraction circles. So we can get our 1/2, because remember, yellow is 1/2. I'm going to scooch this up 1 second. Scooch this up here. That way we can make more room. So this is 1/2, this is 6/12, and we said that 6/12 was bigger. All right, so now that I have this up here, grabbing my yellow pieces because this is one whole, and then if I grab my 12, which number makes 12? Does anyone remember? I think it's red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, all right, so red is 12. So we need 12 equal parts, and 12 equal parts makes a whole. And then what you do is you need one of these two because it's 1/2, and you need 6 of these 12 because it's 6/12. And then what I need you to do is I need you to tell me which one's greater. They're the same. How does that work? Because 1 of 2 is the same as 6 of 12. So when we use our pictures and when we use our pieces to help us, this helps us realize that these are the same. That is why it is so important to show your work. All right, so now we're going to do another example. And I want you to draw 2 circles down here like this. And then I want you to write 3/4 and 6/8. And I want you to tell me which one's bigger. Now I want to tell you, a lot of you did this. A lot of you said 6/8 was bigger. But how do you know? What did you do to find that 6/8 was bigger? One thing that I know that I can do is I can divide this circle into into fourths because 4 is my bottom. That's how many, this is my denominator or how many parts my circle needs to be divided into equally. Then 8 is my denominator, so that's how many parts my circle needs to be divided into equally. So it needs to be divided into 8 parts. And then what I can do next is I'm going to shade how many? 3 of my 4, because it's 3 is what I'm interested in, of my 4 parts divided equally. And then I'm going to shade 6 of my 8 parts, because 6 is how many I'm interested in and 8 is how many it's divided equally. And then if you look at your circles, do you notice anything? So this much of this circle isn't shaded, and this much of this circle isn't shaded. So if I divide this circle into fourths, this one's already divided into fourths. This much isn't shaded and this much isn't shaded. So what do you notice? They're actually the same. 6/8 is not bigger than 3/4. It's the same. That is why it's so important to use your pictures or to use your fraction pieces, because you don't know sometimes, and that's okay, but that's why you need to use your pictures. All right, so now what I want you to do is I want you to try one more, and I want you to do this one on your own. So I want you to draw 2 circles, and I want you to think of one circle as 5/6 and one circle as 7/8. And I want you to tell me which one is greater. And how can you figure that out? So go ahead and do that now. All right, so what did you do? Well, I know that some of you might have started dividing up your circles. So some of you may have known that this needed to be divided into 6 parts because it's your denominator, and that's how many parts your circle needs to be divided into equally. And then some of you might have divided this one into 8ths because that's your denominator, and that's how many parts this needs to be divided into equally. Then you looked at this circle and you said, well, 5/6. So 5 of 6 need to be shaded. So I'm going to shade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 7 of 8 needs to be shaded. So I'm going to shade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I know that each one of these circles is missing a piece. So then maybe they're the same. It's kind of confusing because it does look like they're the same, but how will I really know? So one way that you can double check is you can use your fraction pieces and you can gather up this color that's going to make a whole circle with 6 pieces. And that color is your pink. So you can make a whole circle with 6 pieces. Then what you can do, move this up. Then what you can do is you can make a whole circle with 8 pieces, and that's your gray. And one thing that I noticed right away is that this gray piece is a lot smaller than the pink piece. So I'm not sure what that really means yet, but I'm going to find out. So let's see. This is 8 pieces, this is 6 pieces. So I'm interested in over here 5 of my 6 pieces. And over here I'm interested in 7 of my 8 pieces. So now, which one's bigger? They still kind of look the same, don't they? Well, what you can do, you put one under the other. We'll move the board out of the way, actually. We'll put them on top of each other. And one thing that you can notice is, like I said before, your gray pieces are smaller than your pink pieces. So this is 5/6. This is 7/8. Your pink pieces are a lot bigger than your gray pieces. So if you have 5 of your 6 pieces and you're missing this big of a piece and 7 of my 8 pieces, which one's bigger? 7/8 covers more than 5/6 because there's more missing right here than there is right here. So 7/8 is bigger than 5/6. All right, now what you need to do is you need to work on your worksheet on Seesaw, and every single problem you need to show your work. I need to see a picture of what you did. I need to see if you used pictures, if you used your fraction pieces, it doesn't matter, but I need to see your work so I can see what you did to get your